CoastLife, we introduce you to so many wonderful people with such amazingly big hearts here on Coastal Delmarva, and one such person joining us on the couch today is not only a giver by nature, but also an author. Susie Keefer is joining us, author of He Hoped I Would Come, on the CoastLife couch today. Susie, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So first, just kind of introduce our viewers to you, who you are as a person, and how your experience has all kind of led to this book.
Okay, I went to Congo in 2010 on a mission trip with a small group of people, and it was to the Democratic Republic of Congo. And I didn't think I was ever going to go back the first moment I landed there.
Sure.
So in the book, it explains what it really felt like to land into a totally foreign country that, you know, you were kind of unprepared for. Some preparation, but you really can't experience it ahead of time. And so, but you know, things changed, and I went back the very following year, and it was that year that I met Miriam.
Yes.
And Miriam was just 2 at that point. Aww. But it seemed as though the moment we met, we just fell in love with each other. But she had a small family. She lived with her father and her brother. But the following spring, 2012, her father passed. And so she was going to become an orphan. Her brother, who was 12 years older than she is, he was going to be with his mother. So anyway, it ended up that we were able to adopt her, and in the process of the adoption and me spending a lot of time in Congo, I became sort of famous in the area where the feeding center was, where I was going with Miriam. And some mothers came and asked, they walked 3 miles and asked if, they said, we're looking for your Susie, and we would like to know if she could feed our children, because our children are starving too. And so that was sort of the first question that was asked. And when Miriam and I left the next morning to come home, we started the idea of being able to build a center, a nutrition center, where the women were from.
And that's sort of how you met Miriam, was through a nutrition program, right?
Exactly, yeah. She was coming to a nutrition program.
Yeah, so tell us about the Miriam's Table and the nutrition program that you guys sort of built together.
Okay. Miriam's Table is located in what they call the Impasa region of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it's settled into what they call the poorest of the poor area. It's a little bit more difficult for you to get there by vehicle or anything, but there's millions of people in there, and thousands in that particular area. But we opened the center with the idea that we were going to feed about 150 children, but we actually feed 350 children. And so they come daily for their bowl of nutrition, and we have seen a huge change in the ability for the children to run and jump and play and be just like every other child that you would see here. And so we're looking forward to seeing what else we can provide for that community. The Rotarians here in actually in Rehoboth Beach, they actually helped us build a well.
Wow.
Because we were losing children to typhoid fever and other diseases that are caused from the water being bad. Yeah. So we do have that now, and so that keeps them healthy as well.
Yes. So all of these experiences that you've had, what made you want to put them all into a book?
Actually, other people. people that have been around from the beginning of it all keep saying, you should write this down, you should write this down. And at some point I just started to create the ideas that could come into the book, and it finally came to fruition with this spring.
Yes, well, a very inspiring story within this book, but you actually have a release event coming up for the book. Tell folks about that and how they can be involved.
Yes, the book is actually going to be released on May the 5th for purchase. And it'll be that evening on May 5th, which is a Sunday evening. We're going to be at the Bethel United Methodist Church in the Fellowship Hall at 6 o'clock that evening. The exciting part about that is that my publisher is going to actually be there with his wife, and starting next week, I have our visitor from Congo will be here.
Awesome.
And so he'll be able to be there to share information, what it was like on their side to have Miriam's Table.
Perfect. And is this an event that people need to pay for, or can they just show up?
Just come.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear, right? You just show up and you can get your hands on this very, very, very inspiring story. Well, Susie, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about Miriam's Table, your story and your time, and where people can get a hold of this book. That date and time one more time for May 5th.
May 5th, 6 p.m. at Bethel United Methodist Church in Lewis.
Awesome. Well, don't go anywhere, because if you've been inspired to give back to your community, we're talking National Volunteer Week with BB Healthcare when we get back.